SGC here, and we're back for a movie review. Ordinary Person. Directed by Kim Bong-han. This is a 2017 crime drama film. And I looked him up on IMDb. He's only listed for this movie, so I guess this is his directorial debut. So props on that. So this movie has a lot of people butchering names, as always for Korean films. But this time, just listing the main characters, we got Seung-hyun, Jang Hyuk, and Kim Sang-ho. So what's this movie about? Well, it takes place in 1987. Our main character, a police officer with a wife and a son, is tied up into a conspiracy dealing with the National Security Planning Chief. The conspiracy deals with a well-known murderer who is on the loose, and they finally found him. But is he the right person, or did they find a scapegoat? So this planning chief is manipulative and just cold-blooded and just wants to get this case done and over with, even if he has the right or wrong guy. Doesn't matter. So our main guy, police officer, is just like, okay, I'm gonna help you out because you can help me out, but I'm just wanting to solve this case. I want to help my family. Everyone's happy, right? But then a reporter friend gets involved, and he finally finds the clues and goes like, hey dude, the guy that you caught isn't the dude, so what's going on? And that's when the movie sort of like goes in directions, and you're just like, oh wow, what's gonna go down, who is gonna come out on top, type of thing. And that's basically the entire film. So what did I think? First off, all around great casting. Everyone is believable. We have our righteous cop who's just, you really feel it as he changes throughout the movie, as in he's just, yeah, let's just close this case and get on with the next one. And then this big case coming up. Okay, I will definitely help you. Oh no, what am I doing? And then we got the planning chief who's just like, I want this done and over with because you guys are just pawns and this is beyond your pay grade, type of thing. And he's just ruthless and calculating. And then we got a reporter friend who's just really just trying to tell the truth and going, what's going on? Why is this man, is he really the killer, or is he not? We have to figure it out before we can jump to conclusions. So definitely the pacing here is interesting in terms of it spends a lot of time dealing with the initial sort of case and just the characters getting introduced. There's a new rookie that comes into play, and I thought it would be like a Korean sort of stereotype rookie that he becomes like, oh, look at me, I can do this. But definitely he goes on the sideline. It's like, oh, that's really interesting. And then the reporter sort of comes in the middle of the movie, and the national security guy just is throughout. And I just really dug how they introduced the characters and just the pacing of just focusing on which characters. Obviously our main character is there throughout, and then also just the narrative of making you really believe that this cop is really doing the right thing, as in he really thinks that this will be it. Like, this is his sort of silver lining. If he does this, life will be great. He will get it. But will that guy's life be great? Will the future be great? What's going on? And then you can see this sort of like common man sort of dream nightmare type of thing. It's like, if I do this, this man could be innocent and he could die, but at the same time I get everything I want and no one would know like what's going to go down. And I definitely love how it transitions into him figuring out what he is going to do. He makes a decision in terms of just, I'm going to settle this and we're going to settle it like the right way. And just the scope of the movie is actually really big in terms of just like small town sort of like cases, and you get to know like sort of the police people, and then later on you get the reporter friend, and then the family, and there's the son dynamic, and then the police chief and the politics behind the whole case, and just the torture and all that. There's like a lot of things spanning, and I definitely would have thought this would be a typical Korean crime drama, and I definitely felt that it was way more intense. Granted, it's not flamboyant and like, oh, he's so cool. This is like a middle-aged dude, and definitely if you're like turned off by that type of like, oh man, like old guys should retire type of vibe, it's gonna be hard for you to watch. But you know, story doesn't matter. The execution was really great, and just the characters and just the acting. The directing is just great. You really feel a lot of emotions, and it's just wow. I think this is a slow burn in terms of just digesting what's going on in the film. But I think when it comes out like fly kick in the face, it's just like, holy crap, that was a lot of kick and punching. And it totally was worth just the whole slow pace of it all. Because when it finally goes down, you're like, wow, things are falling down into place. What's going to go down? Who's going to get it? Who's not going to get it? And the ending was just, wow, just, man, like life just happens. And it gets dark. And that I didn't expect. I think the movie was sort of stereotypical, sort of the crime drama where comedy happens. And then there wasn't violence too much throughout the movie. But when it gets there, it's like, wow, that I did not know they would do that. Did not see that coming. In terms of just the context of that. But overall, I feel that it could have been quickened in terms of pacing. Like, more things could have been talked about. Sort of the side characters could have been used a bit more. Because the focus does sort of tunnel vision into, like, the main officer, the reporter, and the planning chief. And granted, also, I think if you don't know the 1980s sort of political sort of vibe or what's going on, it pulls you out of immersion a bit. But if you knew what's going on, you knew about the presidency and just what was happening and the change in power and everything, it's just like, whoa, this will mean things. And definitely it connects with sort of the previous thing that I watched, like The King, but the whole like how lawyers are in charge and this is who you know and you feed the people and like the powers to be are backed by these unknown things. Same thing here, and it's just like, wow, like, is this the reality of the government where rich or just powerful people are deciding who's going to show up in the government building type of thing, in the government. So yeah, scary stuff, but definitely enjoyable. I really was surprised by this one. It was kind of slow, and to the point sometimes I felt like, where is it really going? But then just when it finally changes and he decides for himself what he's gonna do, it's just like, wow, that was an enjoyable ride. And yeah, it was fun. So yeah, so that's it. If you have seen Ordinary Person, leave your comments down below. Oh, sorry, I definitely love the title of this movie, Ordinary Person. Really encompassed the whole scope of this movie, where he's just an ordinary police officer thrown into just such an extraordinary circumstance, and he has to deal with it. Like, when things go down, it's just like, how do you respond? How do you react? What are you gonna do? Oh my goodness. And I love the title. It really encompasses the whole scope of the movie. It's been a while since the last movie I watched where it's like, wow, that title was well thought up and used well for this movie. Anyway, so yeah, if you have seen Ordinary Person, leave your comment down below. Get back to you as soon as possible, and that is it for this movie review for Ordinary Person. Out!